Hey spooky bitches, it's Bree,
It's Savannah.
and you're listening to the Spooksters Club.
Ooh. All right, guys. This week,
I'm scared.
I'm super
Already?
scared already. You should be scared. Be scared. um. Okay, so I'm gonna start off. I'm gonna start this
Okay,
thing.
let's get it
This
started.
thing. Let's get it started. Okay. So I'm gonna start with a spooky story that happened to me. Super scary. I like super scary stories, but not when they happen.
Not when it happens to you.
Yeah. So okay, let's jump into it. I don't know if you guys remember me saying that I am from a small town, but I'm from a super small town in northern New Mexico. This little town is actually a valley. So it's a
It's
valley.
spooky.
Spooky, yeah.
It's
spooky.
weird.
It's
It's not the vibe at night.
Definitely not the vibe at night. In the daytime, yeah, it's chill, it's nice, it's pretty, but at night, ooh,
No thanks.
no thanks.
You don't want to be there alone.
You for real don't want to be there alone. So, my mom's house sits at the base of a mountain, right? And there is a field kind of in between.
Yeah.
If that kind of makes sense. So, it's my mom's house, a field, and then the mountain. And this is going to be important to the story, but think of a V shape. My mom's house sits in the middle of that V shape.
Okay.
And then the mountains kind of along,
Okay.
right? So my mom's house sits in the V, the mountains are the V.
Okay.
Okay. So that's kind of the layout, lay of the land, right? That's important to the story. So a couple months ago, I go and visit, and I take my ex with me. My ex tags along. It's in the summer, and it's hot, right? It's hot in the summer. And up there in northern New Mexico, it's not really too hot. Snows in the winter. About 70, 75, 80 in the summer. It's been hotter these last couple summers, but yeah, just weather going on out there. Anyways, so okay, we're there. It's the summer. It's pretty hot. We go to sleep. Everything's fine. Everything's chill. Wake up around, I would say 1, 2 o'clock in the morning. I wake up feeling kind of weird, kind of uneasy, and I am a chicken shit.
Same.
And I hate not sleeping without a light on, like the TV or a night light.
Same.
Or anything like that, right? Super afraid of the dark. Hate that shit. Cannot do that. But if I'm sleeping in the bed with someone, I feel better because I'm like, okay,
You're not alone.
I'm not alone,
Yeah.
right? Like, I still hate the dark, and if I can have a nightlight or the TV or anything on, I will, but it's not so bad if someone's there. So, okay, I wake up feeling super uneasy, super weird, and I'm just kind of laying there, already shitting myself because I am, like, I'm a chicken shit, right? So, I'm just laying there, chilling. The window's open. Did I mention that?
No.
Okay. The window's open because it's hot. I know I mentioned that.
Is it open like all the way?
It's open all the way. It's open all the way.
Okay.
And the blinds are closed. So I'm laying there, trying to fall back asleep. And I start hearing what sounds like whispering. And it sounds as if two people are talking to each other, whispering to each other.
Ew.
Right?
Yeah.
Super ugly. Don't like it. But it almost doesn't sound human. It doesn't sound human. I don't know how else to I can't really elaborate on that further, but it just doesn't sound as if there are two people outside whispering to each other. It just sounds like disembodied.
Ooh.
Almost. Yeah. Don't like that. So I start shitting myself. My ex, he's laying right next to me.
Mm-hmm.
I'm thinking he's asleep, right? So I go and I'm like, hey, wake up. Like, please wake up. So then he's like, oh, I'm awake. I was like, oh, okay. And he's like, yeah, I've just been laying here. And I was like, oh, okay, sorry. Like, I thought you were asleep. And he says, no. And then I tell him what happened. And I ask him if he heard anything. And he says that he hears something outside.
Yeah.
Like, he's been hearing things outside.
Oh.
But he didn't say anything about whispering. He just said that he heard something outside.
Yeah.
And I was like, cool. Don't like that.
I'm so scared right now.
Definitely don't like that. I'm so freaking scared right now. You shut up. So I am just like, okay, not sure what that was, not sure what to do right now, but eventually, cool, we fall back asleep and nothing else really happens, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so something to note, nothing weird has ever happened to me at my mom's or at my grandma's. My grandma lives down the road basically from my mom's house. Nothing weird has ever happened before. And in 2022, there were these massive fires going on, right? And about 350,000 acres burned.
Yeah.
Right?
Super sad, BT dubs.
Yeah, super terrible. Shouldn't have happened.
Yeah.
It happened. And they're still dealing with the aftermath of all of that, right? So my mom's house sits right next to a dirt road. That's the only way to get there is a dirt road.
Yeah.
And so behind my mom's house runs, I believe, a ditch. It's either the ditch or I'm gonna say a ditch. Because there's ditches, there's acequias.
Yeah.
Which are basically irrigation systems. They're like irrigation ditches, canals, right?
Yeah.
So, like I said, they're still dealing with the aftermath, and there's been a lot of flooding after that, and so they're having to really clean out the ditches. They're really having to clean out the acequias. They're doing a lot of excavating. Excavating?
Yeah.
Just because there's so much water, they're having to... This water has to go somewhere, right?
Yeah.
And then it washed out the road where my mom is at, the dirt road. So they're just doing a lot. A lot is going on in that area right now.
It's like a lot of digging up.
A lot of digging up, a lot of, like I said, excavating, all that stuff. So just a lot is going on in that area. So right along the road where my mom's house is, and then in the back, all in the back, where... like I said, the field, the mountain is at, right? So, there's not too many neighbors around.
Yeah.
It's a secluded area. There's not a lot of people. And my dad's house sits on a pretty good chunk of land, right? And so, there's the neighbor's house right next to it. And then my dad has a friend that lives, like, maybe 2 houses down from where we live. And one night, this friend calls my dad and asks him if he's at home. My dad isn't at home. And my dad's friend proceeds to tell him that he saw someone in the back of his house. And my dad's friend's house sits right up along the V that I was talking about earlier. So his house sits directly at the base of the mountain, whereas my mom's is a little further away, but the mountain is not too far either.
Yeah.
But there's still that field in between the mountain and my mom's house. But his house sits right at the base of that mountain.
Okay.
So he tells my dad that he saw someone in the back of his house. And at this time, he's thinking that it's just someone.
Like a random
like a
person.
freaking person. Okay. So he tells my dad that he's gonna go to my dad's house because that's the direction he saw this person going in towards my dad's house.
Okay.
So he tells my dad he's gonna go check it out, make sure like no one's over there, make sure everything's cool, check on the dogs because my mom and dad have dogs.
Yeah.
Big dogs out in the backyard. So my dad's friend heads over there. The dogs are there. They're not barking. They're not causing a scene because my dad's friend goes over. Obviously, they're friends. They hang out, and the dogs don't like him, and they lose their shit whenever he's around. They freak out. They don't like him, and not necessarily him. I don't think just anyone that they don't kind of no. I guess So he says that they're just there. They're not barking. They're not doing anything, and they almost look scared, like they're just kind of there, kind of freaked out, I guess. Yeah. So then, that's kind of the end of that. Nothing really ever comes up about it. And
did he ever see where that man thing went, or did it just like disappear?
So he said that it just kind of disappeared, and so later on, it made him believe that it was a thing. Because he said, a skinwalker. A skinwalker. But he said that, okay, he saw this thing. It was headed in the direction of my dad's house.
Yeah.
And my dad's house, like I said, there's a field right behind it. Yeah. And then the mountain. Yeah. So no matter where this man went, he would have seen him. Whether he went out towards the road, or if he was still walking in the field, any which direction, he would have seen him.
Because it's like all open there.
It's open.
Weird for like just some random person to be like walking around back there because you have to take like the highway and then get off on like a road, and then it's just like all dirt.
Because it's super secluded out there. If you don't live back there, there's kind of no reason for you to be back there. It's weird, especially at night.
Yeah.
And there is a road next to my dad's friend's house up against the mountain. There's a trail, but no one lives back there. No one hikes back there. There's no one out there. Well, especially at night, Yeah. But no one has any business being back there. Yeah. And I've lived there my whole life. You never see anyone back there. There is a house behind my mom's house, but it's far into the mountain almost. Yeah. So there's no reason anyone should be walking back there. But even if it was someone that belonged to that house, the terrain back behind my dad's friend's house is crazy. You shouldn't really even be walking back there because, as I mentioned, there's the ditches, the acequia, so it's just not flat. It's not flat for you to walk on. It's crazy. Yeah. You probably shouldn't be freaking walking back there, regardless if it's a person. So that was something that definitely came up. So later he was thinking, well, I don't think that was a man. Or I don't think it was someone because where did they go? All of a sudden I saw them. And it was dark, but at the same time, this guy should have, if anything, headed back to the dirt road. Yeah. And my dad's friend took off almost as soon as he had seen that thing, right? So it's weird that he didn't continue to see him walking in the field. Yeah. Because where he would have been walking past his house would be the field. Okay. So he should have been able to see anything, but he didn't.
And like, what did he tell your dad?
My dad
about like the man that like. So did he tell your dad that the man like disappeared, or was he just like, oh, like it was nothing?
He just said I couldn't find him. After that, I couldn't see him.
And what did your dad say?
My dad is a skeptic. So he, in his head, automatically was thinking, no, it probably was someone.
Yeah.
Even though it's weird,
Mm-hmm.
chances are it was someone.
Yeah.
But I've never seen anyone walk back there ever.
Yeah.
So I don't think it was a person.
Ooh.
I can't say for sure what it was, but it just sounds super weird.
Yeah, I don't like that.
Yeah, it's definitely super weird. So, fast forward, I'm down again after that story.
Mm-hmm.
And we go over to visit his friend.
Mm-hmm.
And we go, and he's telling me this story, his little
God.
Story, right?
I would have been crying.
Yeah. And so I take this opportunity to ask him if anything else has happened, or if he has any ghost stories, basically, right?
Yeah.
So he continues to say after he saw that thing,
Mm-hmm.
that weird stuff has been happening to him and his family and around his property.
Yeah.
So he said one night that his little boy was sleeping. He fell asleep on the couch.
Uh-huh.
And my dad's friend has a porch.
Okay.
So he has a porch. And my dad's friend goes to work super early. He works a couple hours away, so he has to be up super early, around probably 3 in the morning.
Yeah.
But I think on this particular night into the morning, it's the weekend. Okay. So it's like Friday night into Saturday morning. Mm-hmm. In the morning, the little boy asks him, "What were you doing outside this morning?" And my dad's friend, of course, is like, "Huh?"
Yeah. Like, what do you mean?
What did you just say? And so I don't think my dad's friend tells the little boy anything just because he doesn't want to freak him out. But he knows no one was out there. There shouldn't have been anyone out there.
Yeah.
So that was something that happened. And then after that, the little boy was sleeping in his room. Mm-hmm. The blinds were drawn, but about only more than halfway. Okay. Almost completely closed, but there was a little...
like sliver.
A little slit. Yeah, still. Which, no thanks. Close that shit.
I don't.
Especially,
I don't like that.
Especially out
there, because it's dark.
It's so dark.
You can't even see like your hand in front of your face.
It's
like
dark.
It's terrifying.
It's terrifying.
Like that's the one thing that I always remember going there when we were like little.
Is how dark it is.
Was how like scary it was because it was so dark.
Yeah, it's super weird out there. Even if nothing scary happens, right? It's just the dark, the mountains, super secluded, super weird. So he tells his dad that he saw something looking in the window, right? So at first they were thinking, okay, there's someone out here, around here, being weird, trying to scare us maybe. But something to know about that window. The house, for whatever reason, the foundation is super high. So the house sits high. Okay. The window is high. And my dad's friend is about 6 feet. And I asked him, if you were standing at the window, could you look into the window? And he said no, because it's so high. You'd need a ladder, a step ladder. You'd need something. So that's weird.
I'm so fucking scared.
That's super weird. Yeah, right? Like, that's scary.
Because then, too, like, okay, like, you could just pass it off as, like, someone, like, being somewhere they're not supposed to. But, like, for them to be able to look out, like, look in a window that's, like, ridiculously high off the ground, like, I don't know. That just, like, freaks me the fuck out.
Yeah, scary. Because what is it? If it's not a person, what the hell is it?
Yeah, and I'm sure if it was just some, like, random-ass person with, like, ill intentions and they needed, like, a step stool or, like, a ladder or something, like, you would hear it.
Yeah.
But, like, he didn't say anything about that. He just seen someone
Just
looking in, right?
something like peeking in, something, and it's
Oh
dark
my
out
god.
there. So if you see something looking into the window, you're almost not gonna know what it is. You're just gonna kind of see
Yeah.
something peeking in the window.
Oh god, the peeking I don't like.
Yeah, definitely don't like that. And you would like it even less if you saw how the house was positioned up against the mountain, because the trees fall almost right on the side of the house. That's how
Oh,
close
really?
to the mountain it is. So, okay, I'm listening to these stories and I'm a skeptic somewhat and I'm a believer somewhat.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm sitting there and I'm listening to these stories and I'm like, okay, that's weird. I don't ever hear a story and think 100% that it's real in my head.
Yeah.
Just because shit's crazy. It's so
Yeah.
crazy. And I almost just, my brain just can't like comprehend like freaking weird shit
Yeah.
like that, right? So, anyways, okay. I'm listening and I'm like, okay, yeah, maybe.
Mm-hmm.
Like, not calling anyone a liar, not saying that anyone is making these stories up, but it's just me personally. It's so weird. It's so weird. And
Yeah.
I'm just like, okay, well, maybe, right?
Mm-hmm.
Maybe. And then,
Oh god.
yes.
No.
And then my dad's friend says one morning he's going to work. And
Mm-hmm.
again, it's about 3:30 in the morning. His truck is parked out in the front. He's taking his stuff out to his truck, getting
Mm-hmm.
ready to leave. He's standing with his back facing the mountain. And
Mm-hmm.
he's facing the truck. He's putting his stuff in the
Yeah.
truck on the passenger side
Okay.
of the truck. He starts hearing what sounds like whispering. Once he said that, I was like,
Shitted.
shut up. Like, you
Yeah.
shut up. And I was shitted because I was like, at first I was kind of like, oh, okay, maybe. But then once he said that, I was like, oh,
Yeah.
fuck, man. And so I'm grilling him and I'm asking him, okay, what kind of whispering?
Yeah.
How many voices?
Yeah.
And he said that it sounded like two people whispering to each
Oh
other.
my god. No.
Yeah, yes. And I was just sitting there and I'm like, ooh, don't like that. And another thing he mentioned, which I wouldn't have even ever thought about, the mountain.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so my dad's land, that's my dad's land, the house next to it,
Mm-hmm.
the land was also at one point my grandma's land. So all this land on that side of the road
Mm-hmm.
was at some point my grandma's land or my family's land. And then it got broken up into pieces.
Okay.
So,
And is this like your mom's mom?
no, my dad's mom.
Oh yeah. I'm fucking dumb. Duh. Okay.
Duh.
Forgot we were fucking related there for a second.
Okay, so
please go back to your story.
all this land okay, so my dad's land all the way up into my dad's friend's land, that I believe at some point was all of our land. And then like I said, it got sold off.
Okay.
However it happened,
Yeah.
that chunk that my dad's house sits on is no longer ours. It's his or whoever else's, right? It's not ours anymore.
Yeah.
But there's a plot of land up in the mountain there where I'm telling you about that it still was all our land. There's a cemetery that sits right next to my dad's friend's house. Oh, fuck. Oh my
Should we?
god. I don't like that. I don't know why. I didn't see that coming. Oh my god. Yeah, and then we're gonna come across that
I know.
skinwalker and get munched. Oh, hell no, dude. But we could,
That's
because
like a
that's
good, like, I mean, it's summer's coming up.
that's our land. We can.
Yeah.
We don't need permission from anyone. No one's even out there. No one's even
Yeah.
gonna know that we're out there.
We could do it in like the morning. That way, if anything like fucked up and scary happens, we have like the whole afternoon and evening to like calm down.
I don't think we'll ever calm down after that.
Dude, I know. I
I
would
think
have
we'll
to
end
like
up in the mental hospital, the mental health hospital or whatever.
I'd be like, okay, so I'm not gonna stay here. I'm gonna go to Auntie Jenny's. Bye.
Bye. Oh,
Hmm.
okay. Okay,
Maybe.
nuck,
Maybe. I'm brave right
nuck.
now. I'm brave right now.
Nuck if you buck. Let's go, dude. You're the chicken shit.
Actually, I don't
Well,
want to
okay,
anymore.
we're both the chicken shits, but if anything, I think you're more chicken shit.
If it's in the morning, I
Bruh,
think
the
I'm okay.
ghosts are not gonna be out in the morning. You think they're just
I'm
gonna
not
be
gonna walk
drinking
around
their
there
coffee?
at night. I'm scared.
You think they're gonna be drinking their coffee in the morning, all happy, hanging out there?
Yeah.
No.
Yeah, I don't. Well, if it's haunted and like spooky shit's happening, it'll happen any time.
I guess you're right. Yeah. But our chances of catching
But it's
something
better
are
if it
better
happens
at
in
night.
the morning, because if it happens at night, I'm driving home. I'm driving the 5 hours home.
What if it hops in your car with you?
Why would you say that?
I don't know.
Why would that like?
I just scared myself.
Throw up.
Okay.
Oh my God, okay, go back to your story.
Anyways, that cemetery is
Mhm.
a family cemetery. That is our land. That's our land. So all my family is buried there. And
Okay.
I don't ever think about that cemetery for
Yeah.
whatever reason until he mentioned it and he said, "Wow, I forget that the cemetery sits right next to the house." But nothing weird has ever happened to me before.
Yeah.
And my dad brought up something super interesting, which I wouldn't have thought of. But he told his friend,
Mhm.
what if this weird stuff is happening because they're messing with the roads, they're excavating, they're
Yeah.
messing with the land,
They're like
basically.
digging
They're
up.
digging up
Yeah.
everything.
Mhm.
And I was like, whoa. That's an
That's-
interesting theory.
That is a
right
good
there.
theory.
That's a good theory.
Because you hear when people move into like houses, nothing like no activity, nothing ever happens to them until they start like renovating or like doing like updating the house or wherever they're at, and then the activity starts.
Yeah, because you're messing with who knows what.
Yeah.
Right? Everything was fine, but then you start jacking with shit. Well, who knows?
Yeah.
Who knows?
Ooh.
Ooh.
No
Spooky.
fucking thank you.
What do you think? What do you think about that one?
I'm scared. That's what I think about that one.
Well, pack your bags because we're going ghost hunting.
Actually, I think that weekend I'm gonna be busy, so.
Oh, okay, cool.
I'm just kidding. I do really want to, but then I'm just kind of like, if I see anything or
my
hear
God.
anything, I'm fucking running. And if it's already fucked up terrain,
It's fucked up terrain because it's even hard to get up there in a car. So we're gonna have to walk. And it's not it's not far
yeah.
from the road, but we're still gonna have to walk. So we're double effed if we see something and we have to take off running because we're gonna be tumbling down the hill. So not only are we gonna be messed up mentally, but we're probably gonna have broken
physically
bones.
too.
Yeah, physically too.
Oh my God. Okay, we'll have to figure that out.
Honestly, I could just imagine us sitting there on the hill where this cemetery is at, on like there in the mountain at night,
God,
no lights. I can't.
Ugh. Yeah.
Because the houses that are around, they don't offer much light. And it's up in the mountain.
Yeah.
It's in the mountain.
Yeah.
So even my dad's friend's house that is there, that house is not going to offer us much light. We're going to be in the dark, in the woods, in the trees.
I take back what I just said.
Oh my God, you can't. You can't because I can't. We should do a poll. What do you guys think?
Oh my God, we should do a poll. Yes, if you think we should go investigate the cemetery. I don't know.
Let us know.
Let us know or something. I don't know how, but let us know. Oh man.
Ooh, and then imagine we really get some evidence.
Dude,
fuck.
Oh my God, that would be so scary.
That would be scary. That'd be cool, but like I said, we're probably gonna
It'd
be
be cool, but what cost?
we're gonna be jacked in
For
the head.
what cost? Yeah. All
But
right.
that's all I have for you guys today.
I have some weird, spooky ghost stories.
Ooh, let's hear it.
Okay. I'm trying to think of which one I should do. I have
Spooky
so
one to
many.
make us cuck ourselves.
Shit ourselves?
Yes. Shit ourselves.
Okay.
Because that's the goal, remember? So remember that when we're ghost hunting, that's the goal, I guess. You remember you have to take extra underwear because
Oh my god. Okay, so like 5 years ago, I think, I was living at my grandma's house. Okay, stay with me. My grandma moved out, so my aunt moved in, but like we still called it my grandma's house.
Yeah.
So like whatever. So my aunt, I don't know where she went, but I was living there, so I was home alone, like essentially pretty fucking much, dude. And I texted my boyfriend Patrick, and I was like, you need to come and stay with me. Like I can't. I'm in the basement, and the basement's weird. I don't like it. And like at that point, like I don't know, like weird stuff was happening to me. And so I said, you have to come and stay with me. And he was like, he texted me back and said, well, my friend's with me. And I said, I don't care who's with you. Like, bring them. Like, that's more people in the house. I don't care. Bring him. So they ended up coming over, and we were getting ready to go to sleep. And I'm not really sure if there was a couch in the basement or what. But his friend ended up sleeping upstairs in the living room.
Okay.
So I'm sleeping, and then I wake up because I'm like hearing stuff, and I'm like, oh shit, here we go. But I actually listen, and it's Patrick, and he's talking to his friend, and they're kind of going like back and forth, like arguing, and his friend's like, no, like come on, and Patrick's like, no, just go back to bed, and then his friend like was like, fuck you, and like went back, and then I was like, I'm not even. It's like 3 o'clock in the morning. I'm going back to bed. So then the next morning, I go upstairs. I don't know why I went upstairs, but I went upstairs and I went to the bathroom. And the way my grandma's house is set up is where the couch is facing the window, like on like the far, I don't know, fucking left side. I don't know. There's a window somewhere in the house. There was a couch like right pushed up against the wall where it's at.
Okay.
So if you're sitting on the couch and you look forward, you see the hallway, and there's a bathroom, there's like 2 bedrooms and like a closet in the back. So I go to the bathroom, and then I walk out, and I see his friend like sitting on the couch. Like like he's contemplating life like on the fucking couch. And I was like,
Like he's scared?
yeah,
He's just
like
weird?
he was just like sitting there. And I was like, oh, like good morning. And he was like, oh, good morning. And I was like, okay, like bye. I'm gonna go make me some coffee. And then so he like comes in, and he was like, thank you for letting me stay, but I'm gonna head out. And I was like, oh, okay, like thanks, bye. And then that was it. I didn't, because I was like, okay, whatever, like I don't know. And then it wasn't until like 2, maybe 3 years ago, we were talking. I was telling Patrick about like all the things that had happened at my grandma's house to me. And Patrick had told his friend, he was like, you should tell Bree what happened. And his friend was like, I don't want to talk about that. I don't want to talk about it. But Patrick kept pushing and pushing and pushing. So his friend was finally like, okay, like I'm going to fucking tell her. So he said that when he was upstairs, he was laying down, and it, like the way he was facing, like he was facing out so he could see like the into the hallway.
Oh, because he's sleeping on the couch, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Ugh.
So he said that like his eyes were closed, and then he was like falling asleep, and then he started hearing things, but he couldn't specify like what he was hearing. So he said that he opened his eyes and when he looked down the hallway, he seen someone.
Mm.
But whatever, it was like a figure, and that figure was like walking to him. And then so he said that after like what felt like forever, he was like watching this man get closer to him, and then it like, I don't want to say it like sprinted or like ran toward him, but like it like
Like
hurried, like
rushed him,
yeah, like
kind of.
rushed him kind of. And he said that he like the only thing that he could think to do was to put the covers over his head.
Mm.
And then he said that like he like was under there for like again like what felt like forever. And then that was when he went downstairs, and he had asked Patrick if he could just sleep like in the room with us on the floor because he was so scared. And Patrick was like, "No, that's weird. Like,
That's
go
so
back
mean.
upstairs." I know, but yeah. And then I sat there and I was thinking to myself, like, that's really weird. And then I had asked, I didn't tell you this. It was like this past week. I had went to my aunt's house, and she still lives there with my other aunt. And I was asking them if they've had like anything weird happen to them. And they both said no. That like
Hmm.
nothing's really happened to them. But like in the basement, in the laundry room, like my aunt feels like she's not alone in the basement, I think she said. Or she just gets like this really weird, like eerie feeling in the basement. And then my other aunt who lives in the same room that I had says that she doesn't like to be down there alone.
She
And
lives in the basement?
yeah, and she doesn't
Oh,
like to be like down there without the lights on.
no.
And so I had told them about this. I was like, "Did I ever tell you guys about what happened to Trent?" And they were like, no." So I told them, and they were like, what?" Because they've never had like any experience there.
Yeah.
And then there was another time, it was, I don't know, like maybe 8 years ago. It was a little bit after my grandpa passed away. But I went in through the back gate and went into the back door, and they have like this landing where if you keep going straight, you're going down the stairs. But if you like turn right, then you're going into the kitchen. So I'm just like sitting there on the landing, like talking to my aunt, and I heard like my dad or like sneeze or cough downstairs. And so I said, "Oh, like bless you." And then my aunt like looked at me really weird, and she was like, "What?" And I was like, "Oh, like dad must be doing laundry. Like he's like I heard him sneeze." And she looked at me and she said, "I'm the only one home right now."
Like, according to that sneeze, you're not.
Yeah, and I was like, "No, someone has to be here." Cuz
Yeah.
dude, I literally heard it like plain as day. And then there was when I was like really really little, um my other aunt was living in the basement when my grandparents were living like
Okay, yeah.
in the main whatever, like the main top floor. And I was sleeping on the couch, and I woke up and I seen a man just like standing at the like end of the couch, and I like screamed because it freaked me out. And then I had asked her, I was like, "Do you remember that?" And she said, "Yeah, kind of." But then she had said that her stepdaughter you would like when she would go over, she would sleep on the couch. And at that point, my little cousin was like small, like she had like a dollhouse. And she had said that my cousin went into her room and was like, "Hey, there's kids out here playing with this dollhouse." But it was in like the middle of the night and my cousin was sleeping.
Oh no.
Yeah. And then my aunt was
What?
like, "Yeah, okay, like go back to bed." But but like she like yeah, like she says that that there were kids like walking around the living room or and like playing in the dollhouse, or they were just like playing at the dollhouse.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
That's ugly.
Dude, I know it's so
Imagine
weird.
walking out and seeing that.
Ghost kids, I can't.
That's the worst, I think.
I can't.
Is that worse? That's worse, right?
Yeah,
Than a normal ghost?
I don't.
Ugh.
No, thank you.
If any of that happened to me, if I ever really saw something in the house, I straight up would be sleeping in the yard. I'm not Trent. If I had been him, bruh, I'm sleeping in the yard.
Dude, yeah, I don't know. Like
I
that.
think I'd chance being outside better than in the house, because fuck no.
I know. And then I was like telling my aunt, no, I was telling my grandma because I had called her and then I was like, oh, I'm doing this podcast, whatever. And it's like a spooky podcast. And she was like, when has anything spooky ever happened to you? Like, I was
Let me
like,
tell
girl, my whole
you.
life. Like, what do you mean?
In your house.
And that's what I told her. I was like, well, a lot of it happened at your house. And she was like, my house? And I said, yes, Liz, your house. Like, and then she said, she got like real quiet, dude. And she said, did I ever tell you about the time? And I said, no, you didn't. But please tell me. So, like, like 10 years now, I think, ago, my grandpa was really sick and he had cancer. So they had, like, he was, before he had to, like, go, like, before hospice had to bring him a bed, he was sleeping in their room. And my grandma was saying that she would be sitting down, like, on the recliner and, because either way, where the recliner was, whether it was on the wall that's right on the, whether it's on the wall the door was on, or it was the far wall, you could still see into the hallway. So she said that from the corner of her eye, she would see like this big, smoky, like ball type figure go into the room that my grandpa was sleeping in. And then she said,
But this happened once, or she would see it?
no, she would, it wasn't like constantly, but like it happens enough for her to be like, what is that? And how come I, like, how come when I go in there, there's no one in there? So a little while after that, my grandpa ended up having to go into hospice and they had to bring the hospice bed and they put the hospice bed in the living room. And so she said that when she would be sleeping out there with him, because she didn't want him to be alone, so she would sleep on the couch, she would see that thing
No.
again.
No.
And then she said like eventually like it stopped and then he like passed away. Yeah. And then
Did you ask her why she never told you this before?
no, but I feel like cuz to her I haven't like really asked her if she's like a believer or a skeptic, but I feel like she's more of like there has to be a reason to why this is happening. Not it's all like paranormal and like spiritual.
Yeah.
Because she said, because after my grandpa passed away, and like my aunts like left, she was living in the house alone, like by herself, which no thanks. And she said,
I also almost believe that they don't say anything because maybe if they don't say anything, it's not happening. If they just ignore it, it's not happening, you know?
Yeah, but I don't know. I need to ask. I don't know.
You're slacking. You
I know, I really am slacking. But then she said that she would hear things in the basement and she would go down and investigate.
What?
And figure out like what was going on. And I remember when she told me that, I was like, you're not like scared? And she was like, no, what would I be scared of? And I was
ghosts.
like, the thing that I'm scared of. Like,
the things down there.
Oh my god. But yeah, like I think that's the only like paranormal, spooky, weird thing that's happened to her in that house.
That's weird though.
Yeah.
That's almost I almost don't want to say it, but almost like the angel of death.
Yeah. Because when she was like telling me about that, I was like, yeah, it's a little suspicious.
It's weird.
I don't like that.
Super sketch.
Yeah. Okay, so I'm going to talk about the man in my apartment.
Ooh.
So,
what makes you think it's a man? Okay, just proceed and then.
Okay, well.
That's kind of sexist.
It's not, but okay, let me tell you why. Okay, so, I get, like, weird feelings in my apartment. Like, if I'm home at night alone, I won't go into like my bedroom.
Mm.
But then I have to go because the bathroom is like in the bedroom. So then I have to like run to the bathroom and then like run out. Because I don't know. It's just weird. Like maybe I'm being dramatic, but I don't know. It just like freaks me out.
I even think your bedroom's kind of weird. Not that it's weird, but there is kind of a weird. And I don't know
Yeah.
if it's that I'm getting a weird vibe or it's just because of the things you've told me
Yeah.
is why I feel weird there. But you need night lights. You need lights in the bedroom. And
Huh?
you need night lights.
Oh, I sleep with the TV on.
No, but just that way when you go to the bathroom, you're not all shit.
I know. Okay, but here's the thing. I bought like a like 30 pack of night lights when I first like
No,
when we
you
first
didn't.
I did. I did. And those bitches were on every single plug that they would fit on. And then like I would just start thinking because sometimes they would like flicker
Oh my
because
God.
they were like they would turn off during the day and as it got darker like they would turn on.
That's interesting.
Yeah. So then I was like sitting there and I was like, well, if it's like, why is it flickering? So then I got like, I obviously had extras. So then I got a new one and like within the next day it was flickering. So I was like, that's kind of weird. But I automatically wasn't like, it's a ghost. I was just like, maybe it's like the electrical there or like
Yeah.
whatever.
Or like their caca
Yeah.
night lights.
Yeah. And then so like I had one in the room, but then that one would flicker too. So then I just took them all off because I was like, to me, that's like something's moving in front of it, and I don't like that.
Ew.
Yeah. So it's like, they're gone. But I sleep with the TV on
Okay.
with Harry Potter because Any Hoosers. So there was one night. I think my boyfriend was like out with his friends, and I was sleeping, and it was kind of late and my door was open like halfway. Like where my bed was, I could see like into the kitchen kind of. So I'm like laying down and then I just get like this really like weird feeling. So then I open my eyes because I had my back towards the door. So then I open my eyes and I roll around and I see someone like in the door in the doorway. But it's not like a full body like person. It's like half of someone because they're like I don't want to say hiding, but they were like standing where the door was halfway. So all I could see was like half of their body.
Okay,
Do you
so
know
it
what I
wasn't
mean?
necessarily that they were peeking. They were more so
Just like
just
standing
the
there.
position,
Yeah.
like the position they were standing or where they were standing, is why you could only see half of them.
Yes,
Okay.
exactly. So then I'm like I'm thinking it's my boyfriend. So I'm like, what are you doing? And I didn't get an answer back. And then I was like, okay, well if you're gonna be weird, like I'm going to bed. And then because like when we had first moved in and I was like telling him like I'm like feeling weird, like just weird, he would like he would scare me and like be an asshole. So then I was like, whatever, like this is him trying to scare me. So then I'm sleeping, like my dog is right next to me, and then she like looks, cause she's also like passed the fuck out, and so she like looks, like tilts her head back, and then she's like gets up and moves her whole body to where she's like facing the door. And I'm like, yeah, dude, like your dad's being weird, like tell him something, like
Tell
get him,
something.
like get on his ass. And then now I'm rolled over, like facing the door, and I'm closing my eyes. And then I like feel her moving. And at this point, because at first she was laying down, and now she like repositioned herself to where she's like sitting up, but she's just like locked on whatever it is. And then I was like, I had told him, what I thought was him, I said, you're being really weird and you're freaking me out. Like, you need to stop. They come, like, lay down. And then nothing. And then so I started getting pissed off because I was scared and I, like, still had this, like, really, like, weird vibe. And I said, okay, if you're going to be like that, then, like, go sleep on the couch. Like, if you're going to act like that and you're going to try to scare me, like, I'm telling you, I can see you. Like, you're just being weird and you're pissing me off, so go sleep on the couch, whatever. And nothing. And then at that point, I was like, maybe it's not him.
Mm.
Because then I remember the door is locked, and I don't think I heard the door unlock. So then I repositioned myself in the bed, and I said, "You're scaring me. You need to stop." And then I hear the clink, clink, open of the door. And I'm like shitting myself because I'm like, I just seen something. And it had been like years since I had seen something like that. So then I was like, "Is that you?" And he was like, "Yeah." Like, who is it gonna be? And then like this sounds really dumb, but I was like, "Did you just walk in?" Even though I witnessed him walk in, he was like, "Yeah." And I said, "I think someone's in our apartment." And he was like, "How?" And I said, "You were standing in front of me. You were standing in front of the door for like 5 minutes." And he said, "Well, it obviously wasn't me because I just walked in." And I said, "Yeah.
Like, I got that.
Obviously, it wasn't you. That's what I'm trying to tell you." And then I was like sitting there, and I was like, the only way in and out is the door. Or the balcony. But who's gonna jump off a second story balcony?
Unless you're like
come
Batman.
on. So then, did you say Batman?
I say, yeah, unless you're Batman. Or Spider-Man.
I love that. Okay. And then so, like, that was it. That was it. And then, just recently, I think like 2 months ago, I was like in the shower. I was in the shower and I was washing my hair, and I was like in between shower curtains, so I just had like the clear liner on. And
why were you in between shower curtains?
Okay, because I had a Baby Yoda themed No, I was gonna say baby shower. Wrong. Wrong. Fuck. Anywho, I had a Baby Yoda themed bathroom, and I had bought a Baby Yoda shower curtain on Amazon, and it had like the Mandalorian. It was a little crazy how my bathroom was. So I was like, I need to do something new. Like,
okay.
I was like over the Baby Yoda, so I was like, I need something new. So then I was like waiting to get another shower curtain.
Oh.
That's the story of why I was in between shower curtains.
Oh, okay. Sorry. Sorry.
So then I'm like washing my hair, and I'm home alone. My front door's locked. I'm showering with the door open because I'm home alone.
That would be almost. Was it a clear liner?
Yeah.
That's weird. I just don't know why. I would feel, even I live alone, and I would even feel weird about the clear. I don't know why.
Okay, well, for those of you out there who are gonna judge me, fucking judge me. I don't care. How?
I don't know.
I was fucking home alone.
I'm not saying
and what am I gonna do? Not shower until I get a
pervert.
And what am I gonna do? Not shower until I get a shower curtain?
I just said I would feel like a pervert. Anyways,
okay,
go on.
Let me get back to my story. You're pissing me off. So then I'm like washing my hair, and I like look over and I see like something had peeked at me and like moved back really fast. So then I'm like sitting there and I'm like, did I really just see what I thought I saw? And then from where I was like in my shower, I could see my bed, and my dog had moved to where I could see her, and she was looking like in this like little hallway that I have. And so I'm like, oh my God, like someone broke into the house, and like I'm trying to be rational instead of going like straight to the paranormal, which like me being rational is like someone breaking in and trying to kill me. So I was like, what if someone broke in and I'm home alone? Like, dude, like I was going off the fucking wall with like everything.
At least your liner was clear, so if someone was trying to murder you, you'd see them coming.
You're right. That's the
maybe
good thing
that's
about
the
it.
good thing about having a clear liner.
You fucking hater. So then I'm like sitting there and I'm like waiting for someone to peek again, and like it never happened. And so I'm like, well, maybe maybe I'm just freaking out because like being home alone freaks me out.
Yeah, and you already have it in your head
Yeah.
that you don't
So
like it.
I was like turning, like trying to like trying to see if what I seen I did. Does that make sense?
Like if
Okay.
it would happen again, yeah.
Yeah. So I'm like turning, like being fucking dumb in the shower, and then like it never happened again. So then I fucking hurried up because I was like, if someone's gonna fucking kill me, like they're waiting for me to get out of the shower, and I don't want to die in the shower. So
That'd be pretty bad.
yeah, dude, like that water bill would be fucking expensive.
I mean, yeah, because forget actually being dead. I mean, that water bill, yikes. God damn.
Oh my
At
god.
least you wouldn't have to worry about it.
I
Don't worry about it. Patrick would be pretty mad, but he'd get over it, I guess.
I know.
He'd have no choice.
Yeah. So then oh my god. So then I'm like sitting there and I'm like, okay, like I'm gonna have to get out. Like, whatever. So I put my robe on and then I turn off the light because I'm thinking if I turn off the light and go and someone's in my apartment, like they're gonna fucking kill me right
Game
there.
over, yeah.
But if I just turn off
At
the
least
light,
you wouldn't be in the shower.
huh?
At least your shower, the water bill wouldn't be high.
True, because I got out. Yeah.
Yeah, that's good.
Yeah. Oh my god. So I turn off the light and like no one pops out to try to kill me. So then I like peek around my like door and look down like this little hallway that I have into the closet and like the door was closed. But the door was closed anyway, I feel like.
Mm.
So then I'm like, okay, like whatever. So I open the door to my closet and there's obviously no one there. I go to
Did you grab like a weapon or anything, or just chilling,
no,
cruising, and
dude,
checking
I was just
for
like,
stuff?
if I'm gonna fucking die, I'm gonna fucking die. Like, yeah. So then I go out and I look and like my front door is still locked.
I feel also though, if just because the way the apartment is, the layout of the apartment, even if you were in the shower, you would almost hear someone coming through the
Yeah.
door. No matter how quiet or sneaky they tried to be, I think you would hear something,
Yeah.
right?
And then too, because like that was my thought like in the moment where I was like freaking out. But then after I like calmed down, I was like, well, Eris probably would have like attacked
Freaked out,
them,
yeah.
like fucked them up. And then like yeah, so that was kind of a dumb conspiracy for me to come up with, but I did. And that was like the most recent, I think. No, it's not. So, I have these little storytellers, my grandma calls them. They're
Oh,
like
yeah.
little like they're I don't think they're native.
Yeah, I
They
think
kind
they're
of
Native
are native,
American,
right?
yeah.
Yeah, okay. They're the best way I can describe it is it's like clay, I think.
Yeah.
I don't know. Anyway, I'll post a picture on the Instagram of one of them. But it's like a clay lady, and she has like all these kids around her because they were my grandma's. And when my grandma moved out of her house, I had mentioned that I wanted one of her storytellers. So then she, of course, gave me all of them. So where I had them was on this, what is that called? An
Entertainment
stand. Entertainment center. So I had them on this entertainment center, and it was like really dusty. So sorry, like yeah, that bitch got dusty. So I had them like all in their like they all were in a specific spot. So they had been there for a while, hadn't moved, hadn't been touched, nothing. So I remember I was like sitting down watching TV and I like looked at them and I was like, that's weird. Like they weren't like where they were supposed to be, you know? So then I get down and I'm like looking and I see like no dust on some on I see like streaks of no dust and then like it was moved to like a different spot. So then I'm like, oh, okay, well maybe when we were playing with Eris, like her toy bumped into it, moved it, whatever. And then so I moved it back, and then like a little while, like a couple weeks, maybe a couple months later, um, the same thing happened, but it was with um one of the little kids, and the way I have them positioned is they're all looking like towards the grandma, and this little guy was like moved but like pushed back because you can
Yeah.
see like the streaks of where there's no fucking dust. And so I was like, okay, like that's weird. And then at that, like they were just like ever so slightly like moved, but moved enough to where you can see that they like had moved because there was no fucking dust under
Yeah.
them. So after a while, it didn't happen, and then it happened again. This happened within like 2.5 months. So the last time my grandma gave me this set of like kind of Aztec looking kind of figurines.
Mhm.
And it's like the hear no evil, see no evil, speak no evil thing. So there was one of them, and I looked, and he was facing out like towards the living room. But when I looked, he was facing like to the side. Like his whole like body was moved. And you can see like the drags, not like the drags, but like the clean,
You can just
like the
tell that
streaks.
it was
Yeah.
moved. It wasn't in its original position,
Yeah.
kind of. Yeah.
So then I was like, okay, like fuck this shit. Because then that was happening. While that was happening, that was when I seen the man. And then this last time that it happened was like a little bit before I seen that like thing peeking at me in the shower.
Okay.
So then I was like, this is a lot of like weird shit happening, and I just need to like for it to stop. So then I like fixed it, and then I cleaned it because I didn't want to see it anymore.
At least it got you to clean the dust.
I know, that's probably what it was doing. And then
it was just trying to get you to dust. Oh my gosh.
So then I like get my sage and I open my windows, and I'm like, whatever you are, whatever you're doing, you're scaring me. And if you're gonna be here, you can't do that.
Oh, but you shouldn't have done that.
I know, I shouldn't have. But like nothing, like knock on fucking wood,
There's no
nothing's happened since then. Like I still get like the weird feeling, but like nothing's happened since then.
Thankfully. Oh, knock on wood.
I know. God damn it.
Well, for the sake of our podcast.
No! Not through me.
This
Yeah.
girl over here wants to be on a spooky podcast in a freaking ghost hunter, but she don't want to see no ghosts.
I don't know. I've seen enough in my life. Honestly.
Well, we need content, so.
At what cost, though?
I'm kidding.
My mental health cost, or
I'm
I'm just kidding. It's really not that bad. But yeah, I think that's all I'm gonna say today because I don't want to give out all of my stories.
Yeah, because
I got some.
unless something's never mind.
Shut up. You shut up and stop talking.
I'm getting abused over here, guys.
She's lying. She's a liar. She's a hater.
But alright,
Yeah,
I think
that's it.
that's it for this week.
I hope you guys liked
Hope
this
you
episode.
guys got shitted.
It's a little spooky.
Spooky. And remember, if you guys have any spooky stories of your own, send them our way.
Yes. You can find all of that on our Instagram. We have a link tree, and our Instagram is under the Spooksters Club Pod.
Ooh.
We're all official and shit. We're fancy. Just kidding. That's like the bare minimum. Oh, fuck. Okay. Well, I hope you had fun. I hope you got a little spooked. Because
We did.
that's, yep.
Hope you guys have to sleep with nightlights, just like us.
Sleep with like the bathroom light on or something.
Ooh, yeah. Or Harry Potter. That seems to help.
Harry Potter is such a good like series.
Aww.
Dude, I love Harry Potter. It's so
Harry
good.
Potter is pretty good.
I know. Oh my god, okay, so I was
TBH.
thinking on like a quick side note. Like I don't want to get like so sidetracked, and I'm probably gonna cut this out.
They're probably like, are these bitches done yet?
I know. But So the Appalachian Mountain episode just released, and when like the witch or whatever like announced who she was to the whole town, I was thinking about it because I was watching Harry Potter when they when Harry sneaks back into Hogwarts. I think it's like Deathly Hallows Part 1. I don't know.
Okay, yeah.
I don't know. How am I a diehard fan but like don't know what
Yeah,
fucking
what?
movie it was.
You're fake.
Sorry. Anyway, I think it's in Deathly Hallows Part 1 when he like gets inside everyone's head and he's like, Harry Potter. That's what I was thinking about.
Scary.
You will not be harmed if you give me Harry Potter. That's what I was thinking of, and I was like, shit, I should have put that in there. So, yeah. Maybe she was just... Well, she was a witch, obviously.
Yeah.
But
maybe she was just misunderstood.
maybe she was. What?
Maybe she was just misunderstood and no one understood her. Poor her.
Maybe.
Poor thing.
But, yeah. That's it for today.
All right, y'all. We hope you enjoyed. Tune in next week for a new episode.
It's going to be a fun one. Be there.
Spooky stuff.
Okay. Bye.